What is up guys, it's Locke, YGO, and welcome back to the channel. And today guys, I'm bringing you my Kairyu-Shin Deck profile. And guys, this deck is insane. Firstly, this deck is very strong in this format. I think it's actually a meta deck, if I had to dare say it, and it can go toe to toe against many of the meta decks present in this current format. Also, this deck is very easy to play and it's a great budget option to play. I mean, most of speed duel decks are budget options, but still, it's very easy to get. So guys, if you guys want to play a water deck, this is probably the deck for you. But without any further ado, let's just get right into the deck profile, and we start with the skill. It's Mako Tsunami and it's Terror from the Deep. Firstly guys, I'm sorry, this skill is not in English, but I do not own it in English, I only do in Portuguese, but don't worry, I will translate the skill for you guys. So basically, you can activate this skill during your main phase while you do control Kairyu-Shin on your side of the field. When this skill is activated, you can directly activate from your deck, hand or graveyard one legendary ocean into the field spell zone. Then, while you control Kairyu-Shin on your side of the field, all water monsters you control will be unaffected by trap effects, and that's very strong in my opinion. Also, if Kairyu-Shin does leave the field, this skill will be flipped face down and you draw 2 cards. Keep in mind, this is not once per duel or once per turn, so basically you can keep drawing 2 cards as long as your opponent is getting rid of your Kairyu-Shins. And if they're not, you're probably winning the game from there on out. This is all for the skill, and now we move on into the main deck and we start the monsters with triple copies of Kairyu-Shin, bread and butter of the deck, because it works amazingly well with the skill. We also play double Terror King Salmon, and guys, keep in mind level 5s on this deck do not matter because they are basically considered level 4 as long as you have Legendary Ocean on your side of the field. So, if you guys don't know, Legendary Ocean gives a bonus attack and defense to all water monsters on the field, and it also reduces the level of all monsters on the hand or field that are water by 1. So basically, the level 5s become level 4s, the level 4s become level 3, and so on. Moving on into the other monsters, we play triple copies of Warrior of Atlantis, and this is your way to search your Legendary Ocean if you do not have it on your hand. You can discard them and just search it from your deck to your hand. We also play one Submarine Void just as a way to apply pressure by attacking directly and then switching to defense, and guys, 1800 defense or 2000 defense with Legendary Ocean is very strong if you ask me. And finally, to round out the monsters, we do play triple copies of Sphere Kuribo just as a very good way to defend ourselves. And guys, this card is even better in this deck since we will mostly draw into it from our skill when your opponent gets rid of the Kairyu-Shin. So guys, this card is very good in this build. Moving on into the spells, we do play the Legendary Ocean at 3 copies as well. We could play that too since it's searchable from your hand, deck or graveyard with our skill, but I believe we want to see this card as much as possible because we sometimes need to just summon Kairyu-Shin so we can flip the skill face up and start playing the game from there on out, because if we do not have our skill face up, this deck is a whole lot weaker than if it is face up. So guys, basically that way we max out on Legendary Ocean just to see it as much as possible. Moving on, and speaking of seeing stuff as much as possible, we also play triple copies of Summoner's Art just to search our Kairyu-Shin or the Terror King Salmon from your deck to your hand, giving this deck an added consistency boost that this deck really needs in my opinion, because it can break a lot sometimes on high level monsters. Moving on, we also play double copies of Hammer Shot just as a way to deal with your opponent's very strong monsters. This deck can normal summon 2600 beat sticks like the Terror King Salmon, but sometimes it just doesn't have enough attack to deal with bigger monsters your opponent might have. That way we play this. Also, if they get rid of your Kairyu-Shin, your board will be normally empty, but you can just activate Hammer Shot you drew of your skill, or you just have in your hand to get rid of their monsters and then normal summon without tribute if you do have the Legendary Ocean on your side of the field, one more Kairyu-Shin or one Salmon or anything else you might have to apply pressure to your opponent. So this card is actually very good in this deck. And this is all for the spells, and now we move on into the traps, and in the traps we play double copy of Michizur, double copy of Volo Disruption and one Floodgate Trap Hole. This card is actually very interesting in this deck, because if they get rid of your Kairyu-Shin, you activate the skill, you draw 2, and then after that resolves you can activate these to destroy one of their monsters, tipping the scales back in your favor. And guys, this card is very strong if your opponent is not expecting it. We also play double Wall of Disruption, because like I said, this deck has very decently high attack monsters, but sometimes your opponent's monsters are just a little bit bigger. This card kinda solves it and also makes your opponent think twice before starting to fill up their own board with monsters, that way making Wall of Disruption a stronger card than it already is. And finally, the Floodgate Trap Hole at 1 copy, because we can play any more than it, and it's just a very generic and very strong card. This is all for the main deck, and now we move on into the extra and side deck. And speaking of extra guys, the extra does not matter at all, it can be any 6 monsters just to make your opponent think that we might be playing Waking the Dragon, which we are not. And now we move on into the side deck, and now this part does matter. We start with one copy of Suijin. This is level 7 water monster that becomes level 6 with Legendary Ocean, so keep that in mind. Most of the time he will only need one tribute to summon, because we will have the Legendary Ocean on our side of the field. And he has a very strong effect that says that once while face up on the field during the damage calculation in your opponent's turn, if this card is being attacked, quick effect, you can target the attacking monster and make that attacking monster's attack 0 during damage calculation only. So basically, your opponent has to waste at least one of his monsters to get over this guy, and that will be quite problematic for him, because his deck is very aggressive and can win very easily. Moving on, we play one solo exchange. Since we play a lot of tribute summon in this deck, if we do not have the Legendary Ocean on our side of the field, this card is actually very good because we can just activate it, tribute one of their monsters and summon one of our own. Keep in mind guys that when we activate solo exchange, we cannot conduct our battle phase during that turn. Moving on, we also play double creature swap, with basically the same purpose as Hammer Shot, which is getting rid of one of our weaker monsters and take control of one of your opponent's stronger ones. And finally, to round out the side deck, we do play double copies of Night Beam. And guys, we do not play any spell trap removal in the main, since the skill already makes our monsters unaffected by trap effects as long as we control Kairyu-Shin and this skill is face up. So, we do play double Night Beam in the side, just as a way to deal with some more heavy back row decks that we might find in some matches. And guys, this is all for the deck, and now I'm gonna show you the entire list for you guys to take a look and copy it for yourselves if you do want to do so. So guys, here you have the main deck for you if you guys wanna copy it. We play 25 cards in the main, and here we have the entire side and extra deck for you guys to copy as well if you want to. So guys, this is all for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below, maybe even comment what you think about the deck and what you would change on the deck list. And if you guys want to see some specific kind of deck profile or videos in the future, feel free to comment down below as well, as I do read all of the stuff that you guys comment. And I'm more than happy to try my best and bring you guys what you want to see. So guys, this is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, thank you for watching, and like always, this is Locke, YGO, and I'll see you on the next video. Out!